Hi, welcome back to the Pot Smoker's Bible. My name is Zion. I'm the author of the Pot Smoker's Bible, which contains the prophetic book of Zion, where I get my name and authority. It comes from the Kittim, or Old Testament. Today, I'm reading from the 27th chapter of the Pot Smoker's Bible and the 24th chapter of the Book of Zion. This is part of the general reading. It's the fifth part, and so I'm going to take up where I left off. The mind is a powerful tool. Thoughts are projections that determine both emotion and action. But thoughts are unfettered, seemingly random. Our minds are untrained, subject to unwanted wanderings. Unless we learn to control it, then we become the masters of our lives. Our ways of thinking form early. We think what we are taught to think. If our adult population is careless in its words and deeds to the young, then the thoughts we teach our children create thought patterns that cause problems and create adults that suffer silently, as their thoughts literally cause them harm. If you tell a child that they are stupid, then they will believe that they are stupid because that's what their thoughts are. Every time they can't seem to understand something, their mind tells them it's because they're stupid. The child, no matter how truly intelligent they are IQ wise, will end up being very stupid because they believe it. Every word you speak to a child is a possible thought. The most often heard words will repeat in the mind of the child and become a thought form, a pattern in the brain, a thought that is independent of experience or desire. That thought will pop up randomly or in answer to questions or events. These thoughts are reinforced by volume. Every word counts. Once a thought becomes a pattern or a pathway, it becomes an aspect of the personality. It governs all related thoughts. It is from this that ego and identity is created. We are told that we are whatever. Then we become that thing because we do not have any other option. It is the thought form that is in our head. That is the only thing we have to choose from. We teach our children who they are with words and deeds. Our words and deeds in their empty heads creates who they see as themselves. I am stupid becomes so and so stupid. So and so tells me that all the time, so it must be true. We teach through speech. We learn through actions. We think what we were taught to think by those who told us things. So the words of our parents become our first thought patterns. Those thoughts create our identity. Once we realize or actualize that idea of self, all proceeding all proceeds from that thought. It always starts there. We are that thought. In this society, that knowledge is missing, not understood, or simply not personal enough to penetrate. As a result, we are a society of people who speak random thoughts without regard to consequence. Sticks and stones can break my bones, but words can never hurt me? Bullshit. Sticks and stones may break my bones, but your words will never leave me without a fight. I can take an enraged man, and with words, I can heal him. Or I can take a happy child and create a mindless zombie with words. Words are far more powerful than guns because a gun can only affect the body. Words harm or help the soul. The soul survives the body. Harmful words can cast shadows on future selves. Words can do great harm or great good. So, what can a person do once harmed by words? We can control the damage or even reverse it. We control each thought that comes to us. We can choose to reject a thought or reverse a thought or to even create a brand new one in its place. Our minds are ours to control. We can, with effort, change the pattern of our thoughts and create a new self image based on our desires and actions in reality. We don't have to believe what we think. Thoughts aren't random at all. We must learn to control them. As I said, we live in the now, a better battleground where reality is created moment by moment. Each thought is a pattern on this field. If we don't choose what to think about thoughts, those thought patterns randomly form or to fill the void or pop up when convenient. But those thoughts aren't in a void. They are part of us. And the pattern with the most echoes thinks itself first. So, unless we are taking part in the battle of now, we just think the thought that we always think. So, be a warrior of words. Take charge of your next thought. Choose what you want to think. Don't just let your thought patterns rule your life. When you decide your next thought, you create the pattern of thoughts in your mind. You must ingrain the new pattern that you want to replace the old one. Fight for your right to think. Be your own identity. Bring into being who you want to be. Create your own next thought. Every human being, be we telepath or not, are subject to thought waves. Our energy matrix is bound by our waveforms. Each thought follows its waveform, first within our matrix, but also outside in the larger global matrix that is a combination of all thought waves, of all living entities that create these thought waves. Our electromagnetic energy field, that which protects us from solar energy, is made up of our thought waves. Each thought emits a wave that ripples through the atmosphere, energizing the field or weakening it. But the strength of the waveform depends on the thought. Negative thoughts are destructive in nature. They disrupt instead of enhancing the field. Our electromagnetic field is weakening because our negative thoughts are taking over. We live in a bubble of thoughts. Every thought wave we create bounces around the world a few times before its energy is absorbed into the atmosphere, and those waves are felt by all. Our thoughts combine with those of others that are similar. Those enhanced thought forms give strength to your matching thought form, making a mountain out of a molehill of a thought bubble. By choosing willfully what we think, we supersede the random thoughts. In the now, we create reality by thought forms. No random thoughts, no matter how many times it's echoed, can overpower a living thought being generated by a willful living being. Patterns have no force. By choosing to participate in the action of creation, we empower the thoughts that we create. These are living thoughts that are bound to a living force which shatters all shells of thoughts. which is only an echo of a pattern left behind in a previous moment. When we create a new thought, we generate a new pathway in our neural net. We rearrange all other patterns to conform with the new idea. By repeating that thought over and over again, we strengthen the new pathway, even as we weaken the empty pattern embedded in our matrix. Thus, we change our minds. But these old thoughts have a unique power, and it's called habit. We are so busy with life that we get too busy to fight the pattern of our thoughts. So we let those patterns take back over, but altered now by the effect. They're weakened, but they're still relevant. We must actively break the old patterns so that the new one can become the habit and thus the living pattern. Because thoughts are waves, we can use tools like mantras, poetry, music, or storytelling to manipulate the energy of the wave. We can enhance the pattern with rhythm, and we can amplify the thought form with rhyme. We use a steady beat to create a pattern in our minds. This mantra of words pulses in our neural nets. It shatters any patterns that are not given the solidity by the content. When we agree with a thought, be it a good thought or a bad thought, we give it an anchor. It remains because we choose to believe it. As long as we believe a thing, it has a permanent pattern in our neural net. Stop believing, and it becomes an empty thought, a pattern once created, but no longer having an active place in the ego or identity, i.e., the mind. So, to disagree with a thought is to kill that thought. It's easy to kill a thought. You have to work to kill a pattern, and you have to fight a thought given by another. A foreign thought. To kill a thought is to deny it, to tell it to go away, to reverse it, to analyze it, to break it down in your mind. Poof, it's gone. If you don't give it validity, it's got nothing. A pattern of thought is the reason that that comes back over and over again. You have to keep killing it over and over again. The moment you stop killing it, it wins. Don't lose to a thought, because each time you kill it, you break down its pathway. When that pathway degrades enough, the thought form that generates the thought shell stops working. The thought form itself becomes a shell, easily forgotten. When this happens, every other thought that has been created using that outdated template will eventually evaporate into light of the new thought, the new form that's overlaying it. Our minds become a craziness as we seek a new pattern to form into a new thought to generate. When this happens, we get to have an epiphany. We change every future thought in a predestined shift. We change our minds literally. And there I'm going to stop for today. We'll take up where we left off next time. Until then, may the Gray watch over you, guide you, protect you, and keep you all from harm. May they teach you right from wrong, and may you always be worthy of them. Let your thoughts, words, and deeds reflect truth, good, and light, the unicorn way. Stay happy and high, my people. Know that I love you all. We'll be together soon. Till then, later, because I'll never say goodbye.